Shalom. As America and the world's economy sinks further, the American government's responded with stimulus and bailout and hoping that that will jumpstart a very weak economy. I was thinking about those terms in relationship to the problems and the challenges that the Jewish people are facing, and not just the external dangers of the Jews in Israel and anti-Semitism rearing its ugly head again, but the vitality of Jewish institutions in the United States, which is the place I know the best. And it's not just the Madoff scandal, but the economy has hurt capital and donors. It's affected Jewish giving too. So there's so many Jewish institutions now that are having very serious trouble. Whether it's Yeshiva University, the Jewish Theological Seminary, which I understand now is not having offices open on Fridays. Major Jewish organizations are canceling their huge conferences. There's a lot of challenges in the Jewish community. And this is on top of the situation that we were dealing with before, with increased assimilation, less Jewish children, more Jews who just say, I'm not religious and don't affiliate with the Jewish community, don't join synagogues, attendance at synagogues, aging Jewish population, all of the challenges that we are facing compounded by perhaps the financial pressures now. So I was wondering whether it's reasonable to apply the terms of bailout and of stimulus. Who's going to bail out the Jewish people? There's nobody going to write a check and say this will solve your problems. But how can we use the idea of stimulus to stimulate Jewish activity? And I want to just draw on the Torah portions of the last 2 weeks when I'm recording this, which I think will lay the seed of an idea, and I hope that you'll respond with comments on this video about positive, constructive suggestions that you have for stimulating the Jewish vitality. The anti-Semites can just not make comments. I'm not going to approve them. Really, if you have a concrete idea, I think it'd be interesting to see what people have to say. Well, I read a book recently about how to get our groove back by a Jewish layperson, getting our groove back. And he had some very interesting ideas, but one thing I noticed was it was very much devoid of anything about God and spirituality. And many people critique the challenges that we face today, the idea that for the last couple of generations, rabbis weren't talking that much about God. There were other agenda items the American Jewish community had: how to survive the Holocaust, how to recreate the state of Israel, how to build Jewish institutions. And what was sacrificed was the spiritual dimensions of Judaism, which has always been there, but was put in the back burner. I was flabbergasted when I was reading an article about the afterlife recently, and it was talking about different religious perspectives, and it said the Jewish perspective is, well, there isn't anything really in sacred texts about the afterlife. We emphasize this world. Well, that's completely wrong. I mean, we do emphasize this world, but the sacred texts of Judaism, the Talmud, is full of discussions about the afterlife and the world to come, the Messianic era. There's the idea that God and talking about God takes a backseat is complete nonsense. Now, what is the idea from the Torah portion that I thought was relevant? Well, last week in Shabbat Shkalim, we read the portion that reminds us that every Jew in ancient times would give, every Jew, every male above the age of 20 would give half a shekel for contributions to build the tabernacle and maintain it. And then one of the things they did was that when they added up the half shekels, they could figure out how many men of fighting age they had. But so that everybody gave equally. At least the males above the age of 20 gave equally. But this week there's a different idea. It's talking about the construction of the tabernacle, and then later on in the prophetic portion talks about Solomon building the temple. And it says that this is a free will giving. And everybody gave as their heart saw fit, the gifts that they could bring. Now I was thinking about that in both regards, that everybody has to make a contribution, but people should bring their own personal gifts to the table. What do you have? What is your personal gift? What is it that God blessed you with that you can contribute most to Jewish vitality? So, having said that, I'm just wondering what your ideas are about ways in which that we can improve the Jewish people and improve the community and bring back a vitality. So what will be the idea about bailout here? What will be the stimulus for the Jewish community as we go forward? We're probably going to have to face a situation where there's less funds for Jewish institutions in the near future, at least. So what is it that we can do It's not based on funds, but based on the soul of Judaism, the spirit of Judaism, the ideas of Judaism that can be stimulating and rejuvenate, R-E-J-E-W, Jewish life again.